Let's see how much better it is. It looks like we're freezing. Yeah, okay. We can, all right. Yeah, so. Okay. Let's go for it. Yeah. See.
We are freezing.
When we freeze, it's not a good sign, but it's the best we can do right now.
It seems so.
We'll go off and on.
Yeah. Where were we?
You wanted to talk about 1960. We have Amsterdam. We have Delaware.
Very good.
Gainesville. 2 in Delaware. Scarlet's in Sweden. Yeah. Christian Pramis in Lithuania. Chaitanya Dasi's in Croatia. Gorpri is in Chile. Nadia is in Siberia. Or are you in Mayapur now, Nadia? Janaki's in Gainesville, Anuradha, Mexico. Kavita, Delaware. Hemant, India. Toshan, Amsterdam. Brajras from India, now in Delaware. Mina in Amsterdam. Mayapur, Nadia's in Mayapur. Wow. Ajinki is in Pune. Okay.
Wonderful. I had a visit to some Sri Vaishnavas in South India, and I met the Guru. And he was conducting an initiation ceremony of 5 people, and it was a morning program. And I asked him, I said, how often do you initiate people?
You told me this. Yeah.
And he said, before breakfast. And I said, what do you mean? He said, before breakfast, I initiate people. I said, no, how often do you initiate? Englishman trying to make himself heard. He said, before breakfast. And the gentleman explained, he said, he initiates every day before breakfast. I said, how many? He said, 5, 10 people before breakfast. And
is that Upanayam initiation or
they call it Samashinam. Samashinam means like our first initiation. So he explained that then they go home. How often they see you? If they come here once a year, something like that. So it seems to be that they depend on local representatives, local Brahmins. Of course, India has no shortage of spiritually enlightened people of the same sampradaya who can provide inspiration locally. And I think that must have been what Prabhupada was intending when he created ISKCON, because in the association of devotees, particularly when you live with them in community, you have an abundant source of devotees who will inspire you. Some of them won't, of course. You may not like everybody that you get to live with at your local temple. Sometimes you really don't like them. Sometimes the devotees that you really don't like, however, you don't like them because they represent a threat to your attachments. So sometimes it's good to remember that and focus on, if I can serve the devotees that I don't find appealing or inspiring, perhaps that will be beneficial for me. But what we try to do in England anyway, what we try to do is to recreate the temple atmosphere outside the temple, because now 95% of our devotees, as 95% of devotees anywhere in ISKCON, do not live in community with others.
As opposed to 95% inside when Prabhupada was here.
Yeah. So I think we have to completely switch what we think ISKCON is. In every one of our books, it says that ISKCON is an international network of temples, farms, schools, and restaurants. I challenge that, because that's only 5% of what it is. ISKCON is very much more than that.
Yeah.
So we try to create that for people. And this is a controversial point. It's controversial because we have got rid of it completely from our history books in ISKCON due to the difficulties that took place post Prabhupada's disappearance, in which we tried to restrict, limit devotees becoming initiated by people who were far away out of their own choice in the name of a zonal acharya.
It's kind of a managerial
But
consideration, wasn't it?
Yeah, when we actually, look at the conversations, Prabhupada said, you get initiated by whoever is nearest.
Was that Diksha or was that the Ritvik?
Well, my present understanding is that Prabhupada was making something that was a managerial proposal for a spiritual activity.
And he therefore encouraged zonal gurus.
Well, what he encouraged, I feel, was that he encouraged people to do what was practical. The guru doesn't have to be as far away as possible. A guru has to be something that is accessible. And in the name of free choice, we ourselves have created this gross separation between aspiring disciple and prospective guru.
So
in which we delude ourselves that if the guru is far, far away, that's a greater spiritual connection than the one who's just in my backyard.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Both have issues. Both have issues. We're trying to find a point of balance so that you can get exactly what you need.
Okay, so let's look at this idea, because it doesn't make sense based on what Prabhupada says in his books that here's the guru for everybody. And so when you join here, that's just your guru. You like him, you don't like him.
Yeah.
Good match or bad match. He's local. So that's just convenient. You take him. What if Prabhupada meant that? What was he thinking? Well, that's not such a significant thing because we have a movement based on his instruction. And the real thing is he's the founder of Acharya.
Yeah.
And, this is your professor, that's your professor. They're all teaching the same thing. It's not a big deal because that's what it seems like. But we know faith in the guru is a big deal. So did Prabhupada mean faith in him? And if your faith is weak in these others, it's not such a problem? Or what do you think?
I can look at it from different angles of vision, I'm afraid. It may not come completely clear in this conversation. But from one point of view, initiation is a formality. It's a function. And I think shiksha can be separate from that. And inspiration can come separate from that. Although we were initiated by Srila Prabhupada, we didn't choose him. In one sense, someone came to me, as perhaps they came to you, and said, we think you could be initiated, and Prabhupada is the guru.
Yeah.
There's no question of who inspires me the most. There was no choice. Luckily, I think we can say we made the right choice, but it wasn't a choice as a choice. There was only one to choose from.
That's true. It said find out a bona fide guru. The guru found us.
That's right.
We wouldn't know who's bona fide unless the guru taught us. Yeah. Unless the guru found us and taught us who's bona fide.
If you, however, think, well, guru is all about inspiration, I must have absolute faith in the person before I actively choose them, then it may be that you do end up choosing someone who is very remote from you, in which case you don't get the necessary. There are many cases where people choose the guru and absolutely no other Vaishnava in the vicinity can offer me any inspiration at all.
Right.
And the principle of surrender sort of ends there because I'm not a servant of, I only serve my guru.
Yeah.
So we have a problem there.
I think some people they're comfortable with that.
Some people are comfortable because they don't want to meet their guru.
Yeah.
They don't.
I want a guru I don't have to surrender to because I never see him.
But then Prabhupada
They'll
says,
never ask me.
Don't make a guru your pet.
Yeah.
Guru is not just a picture on the wall.
But until we have, like 3 gurus in every temple, that's going to be difficult.
Which is best, to get married to a girl who is available and local, or to scan the world and find exactly the right one?
Yeah.
That may take so long, you never get married at all.
Yeah.
We look for perfection, of course,
but you can't, what I always think is you can't legislate a relationship.
No, you can't legislate.
So whenever we try to do that, it's just like, it's kind of a waste of time. And I knew a devotee, he lived in Israel. And Israel, Borijan Prabhu was coming, Giri Swami was coming. I think they were basically the 2 that were initiating there. And I came once or twice, but I was not involved that much, and I didn't come back again. And when I was in Israel, this devotee said, I'm inspired by Radhanath Swami. Very inspired.
He said to you?
Yeah. And he said, I want to take initiation from him. And I said, does he come to Israel? He said, no, he doesn't. I said, you don't want to take from someone who comes to Israel? He said, I'm so inspired by him. It doesn't matter. And I wasn't going to say anything because that's his relationship.
Yeah.
And it seems to me the inspiration and the faith, or, if you don't have faith, you don't have inspiration, then your spiritual life will not go well, if at all. And so that person who gives you inspiration and faith, and also who strengthens your relationship with Prabhupada, it could happen from a distance, and it may not happen from next door. That's also possible. Depends on the person, doesn't it? Also,
I also agree with you there.
Yeah. It doesn't even matter because we can't control it, even if we tried.
No. We tried controlling it. That didn't work.
Yeah.
We tried not controlling it at all. Well, the jury's out on whether that's, helpful or not.
Yeah. You were going to tell us about 1978.
Well, in 1978, I remember the first Vyasa Puja where Prabhupada was not present somewhere in the world. Up until that time, we celebrated Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja, or we'd done everything for him, knowing full well that he was somewhere in the world. We would sell books. A week later, Prabhupada would be reading the scores. We had a festival. Prabhupada would hear about it from the temple president. We wrote a Vyasa Puja offering. We knew that Prabhupada was somewhere in the world. 1978, the Vyasa Puja offerings were completely different by dint of the fact that devotees were writing to whom? Who were they writing to? Well, they were writing to, was it a memory of Prabhupada that they were writing to? Or was it that were they writing to Prabhupada as he was now? And if it was to Prabhupada where he was now, where was he now? So I would like to say that there wasn't a huge amount of theology written about where the guru is after his disappearance. But the sum and substance of 1978 was, we had a Vyasa Puja, of course, and everything was there, the singing, the flowers, and then it came to one particular offering where the devotee was describing how he would serve Prabhupada in eternity. And I would do this for you, and I would do this for you in meticulous detail. He described how he now wanted to serve Prabhupada. And the devotee who was reading the offering on behalf of this person, he only got a third of the way through, and another devotee took over. And then he got another third through, and another person, he only got halfway through the remaining, because by this time, by the end of the offering, the entire room, it was like, grown men, 50, 60 grown men were all just sobbing like children. It was just, the grief was palpable.
Wow.
And just recently I went back to my diaries of 1978, and I am writing to Prabhupada in separation, and I'm talking to him through the pages of my diary, Srila Prabhupada, I'm here, I know you've left, but I know that you can see me now, I know that you're accepting my service. And it was very much trying to fill in the vacuum that had been created, even though Prabhupada's physical presence was only an annual event. Now that chance would not arise again. So we were all filling in the vacuum. And into that vacuum, of course, we thrust the next generation of gurus after Prabhupada. And it was too much and it was too soon. And history now tells the story of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing we did was try to fill that vacuum with a feeling of Prabhupada's presence based on how closely we felt to him when we were serving him. So we had 1 marathon, 2 marathons, 3 marathons, 4 marathons, festivals, trying to expand the movement, carry on the movement as we knew that he would want it. So the years between 1978 and 1982 were, I think, the most creative, innovative, energetic years of expansion in ISKCON. And then, of course, as history has now shown, it started to gradually, not all at once, gradually crumble in 1s and 2s and 2s and 3s.
So we had this momentum in those years. And I don't know if I've told you this before, and you can concur if this was your experience. When Prabhupada was present, everything was easy to understand because basically we didn't have to understand anything because he was understanding for us, but we thought we were understanding from him and it was clear. It was kind of mixed up, like it wasn't clear to us. So after, like you say, about 82, the momentum started to slow, and more decisions and more strength was depending much more upon us at that point. And then we were confronted with this reality that what I thought I understood, I didn't understand as clearly. It seemed, Prabhupada said it like, okay.
Yeah.
In his absence, now the same thing that he said in context of what we're going through wasn't as clear. And I think we all felt, we need to go much deeper into understanding the philosophy because we really don't. We had training wheels on, or Prabhupada was holding us up, and we thought we knew how to ride the bike. And we had this momentum. He pushed us. Oh, I'm riding the bike. And then slowly, the bike slowed down. We couldn't keep it going. In fact, Prabhupada's godbrother, Sridhar, said that. He said, after the guru goes, you will be questioning the things you thought you understood. You will have to go much deeper. You will realize you don't understand so much of what you thought you did. So I think that was really, and it's still today. It's still going on today. We're still questioning. What Prabhupada said all this about the guru, but look, if we do that, there'll be this result. Can't we actually, is that way he wanted us to understand it? Or was that just for him and the liberated souls? What about us as gurus? Are we meant to be in that same category? It was simple when Prabhupada was there. The guru is this. I'm like, okay, no problem. And now you have his disciples as gurus and say, the guru is this. And I'm like, I don't think so.
See, because when Prabhupada was, before 1977, when Prabhupada told anything about a guru or the guru, or he was talking about himself.
Easy, no problem.
He was talking about an absolute, philosophized guru, but we understood he's talking about the guru, which is him.
Okay, and so then you place all the same concepts on his disciples.
We tried to.
And then something's wrong with this picture after a certain point. It looked okay in 78 to some devotees, maybe to many. To myself, not exactly, but it was okay. But as the years went by, we saw the difference. We knew there was a difference. And then we questioned all these verses about Guru, we apply to them? How do we apply to them? And that's, and there were many things like that.
Yeah.
And there still are. And there will be more in the future.
It's that in India, they say there's three subject matters that will keep you discussing forever: Lord Shiva, the Holy Dham, and the Guru.
Yeah. Achintya.
You'll never get to the end.
Those three are inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
Yeah.
Inconceivable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we look at the questions?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I have all the questions from the very beginning. So Chaitanya Dasi, I only have questions beginning with Krishna Premi because I went on again. And so going on again means I don't have any other questions. So let me just read what's here now. And then when we get through these questions, you can read us, or you can post. Yeah, why don't you just post on the chat now all the questions before Krishna Premi's question. Would Prabhupada have stated we should choose the one who is the closest if he knew how much the technology will advance and how much personal instructions and association devotees would have as a result of Zoom meetings, WhatsApp, etc.? There's all of us, Krishna Premi, all of us, after Prabhupada left, at some point thought we were so stupid. Why didn't we ask questions like this? There's a whole list of questions. All of us, as Prabhupada disciples, feel very foolish for not having asked, because now we're confronting them.
But it was difficult to ask.
Yeah, we didn't, because we didn't know.
How would you say to your Guru in your absence?
Yeah, that's hard.
When you die, I mean, it was, the Indian life member would ask that question, or reporter would ask that question, but never a disciple.
Yeah. I think that's true, but I think also there's things we couldn't imagine. In your absence, what about this? I think a lot of us that's why we think we're stupid, because we didn't have enough foresight to think of asking. Prabhupada, in your absence, what if these 11 fall down? Nobody thought they would fall down. There was not an ounce of doubt that they would have any, would be a problem.
Well, we didn't think because Prabhupada had chosen them.
Yeah. And they were,
whether he chose them for this or this.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have others.